Hello everybody, welcome to another chapter of the Perfect Curse. I'll be reading chapters 7 through 9 today, y'all. There will also be trigger warnings down in the description, so before reading, please check that out in case you have any of those warnings. Chapter 7. I don't understand the meaning of any of this. Virgil groaned as he plopped down in the steps. We can't do shit without Princey. He's the one that writes down the scripts and blocks out the scenes. We're going to need to ask Joan and Talon for help then. We have people that depend on our videos. Just because Roman is throwing a tantrum off wherever he is, doesn't mean we stop what we are doing. Virgil was completely stunned. Logan! Virgil forced himself to stop and take a breath as he tried to work through his thoughts. You can't just push Roman aside simply because he isn't here. He's Thomas' creativity. He's not the only one. Virgil glared over at the other, cutting him off as he shook his head. Don't you dare. Roman worked his ass off for the position that he's in. You can't just move on without him. He's essential. When did you start caring? Virgil froze as Logan's eyes darkened. Lest I knew, anxiety, you didn't care about any of us, especially not the prince. Besides, your input isn't necessary. We're discussing plans for the next video, something you've never been a part of before. I'm just as important as the rest of you. Thomas. Virgil felt his blood turn to ice as he looked over to see the host avoiding any and all eye contact. He glanced over to see Patton just staring at the floor, and he could literally feel himself break. Seriously? Nothing? From either of you? I'm sorry, Inks, but I don't really know why you're here either. Virgil crashed as he just laughed, feeling anxiety bubble up in him. He could actually feel his hands beginning to shake. I'm here because you asked me to be. You said all sides. I'm a side too. Damn it. Thomas flinched as Logan just sighed and fixed his tie. Plus, I'm worried about Roman. Not this again. Logan, he's been missing for a week now. Logan rolled his eyes as Virgil growled, trying really hard to keep himself calm. I don't care if you say he's fine. I don't care if you say that there's no evidence. Roman is missing. He hasn't come back. He left on a mission and is probably just pouting like the drama child he is. Logan groaned as he waved Virgil off, obviously to how shaky the anxious one was. He'll be back once he's calmed down. It's been a week. I found his sword. Anxiety. There is no proof anything happened to Roman. The man is literally trained to survive. He's fine, just throwing a fit. Virgil clammed up as his fist clenched, seeing the anger in the other. A fit that you keep bringing attention to just like he wants. I don't condone childish behavior. Behavior that Roman and you both seem to have in common. Honestly, anxiety, grow up. Kiddo, I know you're worried, but I'm sure Roman's fine. Why don't you go rest up a bit? You're looking a bit pale. He's always pale, Patton. Thomas teased as Virgil just blankly stared ahead. Seriously though, anxiety, maybe you should go. Yeah, I know when I'm not wanted. Virgil scoffed as he sunk out, quickly leaving them all before anyone could make another comment. He knew what was coming, and frankly, he should have expected this. Virgil paused at Roman's door, tears in his eyes, as he tried again to knock. It was weak and shaky as his hands were trembling, but just like with every other time, nothing happened. Of course. Virgil laughed at himself as he pushed himself back to his room. He shook like crazy as he slowly closed the door behind him. He'd even registered the soft meow that sounded by the bed. He couldn't breathe. He stumbled to the ground as he put himself into a ball and just sat there struggling for air. Anxiety? Roman was confused. He carefully patted his way to the end of the bed, watching as Virgil pulled his knees up into his chest. He didn't know what was going on, but he knew it wasn't good. Anxiety, talk to me. What's happening? Roman jumped off the bed as he slowly scuttled over to the other with this concerned look in his eyes. Anxiety? He mouthed softly, pawing at the other's leg, only now noticing how badly the other was trembling. Anxiety. Please, talk to me. What's going on? What's wrong? Virgil choked back the sob, making Roman jump and whine, loudly trying to get the others' attention. Virgil groaned as he forced himself to lay down, still curled up on a ball, and Roman broke, seeing the tears falling from the other's eyes. Anxiety. Virgil frowned as he looked over to see Roman rushing over and pulling at his cheek, lightly as if trying to wipe the tears away. All he could do was push the core cat away as he moved to grip his hair. Anxiety. No, don't do that. I can't. Virgil whimpered as he curled up into himself. I can't breathe. I can't. Anxiety. Shit. Roman paced a bit as he tried to figure out a way to help. He didn't know what was going on. He mouthed softly as he pushed himself as far to the ground as he could, except before forcing himself between Virgil's arm, making the other have to uncurl a bit just so he could get to his chest. Roman pawed at his shirt, tensing at the choked out whine Virgil made, and he himself whimpered in fear. Anxiety, you need to breathe. Roman nipped lightly at Virgil's arm before lightly pushing at it, making Virgil move it away, so he could actually look at him better. Breathings. Pee. Roman smiled softly as he pawed at his chest, some more in an almost rubbing fashion, making Virgil's eyes go wide. He tried to take a deep breath, but he ended up coughing, making Roman jump and whine with his own anxiety. Roman gave a very low and worried rumble, and crouched as he rubbed up against him, trying to calm him down. I'm okay. Virgil choked as he tried to keep himself from curling up again. He tried again to breathe, this time softer, focusing more on his patterns than anything. His one hand gently, shakily brushing through Roman's fur, who purred lightly, seeing Virgil slowly start to come down from whatever that episode was. I'm okay. I'm okay. Breathe. You can breathe. It's okay. Virgil gave a weak smile as Roman pushed himself up and once again tried to wipe away the tears, making Virgil laugh. His voice was hoarse, but still held that softness as he uncurled the rest of the way and rolled onto his back. He looked over at the little cat and just smiled. Thank you, small fry. I'm a bit surprised you actually tried to help. Why wouldn't I? You were clearly distressed. Roman frowned as he pushed himself up onto Virgil's lap, head laid down, just staring at the other. Anxiety, what happened? Why did you go into that shock? Virgil just sighed softly as he closed his eyes, much to Roman's dislike, who was very concerned at this point. The sound of his soft mouthing made Virgil laugh and roll his eyes. I'm okay, little one. I'm okay. It was just an attack. It's not the first time I had. And it certainly won't be the last. Roman's eyes went wide as Virgil shrugged. But it was the fastest I come down from. And I'm sure that's because of you, so thank you. Attack? Attack of what? Anxiety. What attacked you to cause that reaction? Virgil couldn't help but giggle over how vocal Roman was being. It was just a non-stop string of obviously emotional meows and squeaks. Anxiety, what attacked you? Tell me now so I can keep it from ever showing face again. No one hurts if outside like that. Calm yourself, small fry. I'm okay. I knew what I was getting into going to that meeting. Roman froze up, ice in his veins, as Virgil just sighed as carefully put him to the floor so he could stand up. That's just what I get. I'm just lucky Roman wasn't there. What? Why? Roman honestly could feel his heart breaking. Anxiety? The last thing I needed was Roman there. It was bad enough listening to Logan and his. Virgil choked as he quickly took a deep breath and sat down on the bed with a frown. Sometimes it really sucks being the embodiment of anxiety, especially when everyone's against you. As if you don't have it, you let yourself I'm fucking tired of this shit. It's not even 3 yet. I've had a damn attack because of my anxiety. Virgil frowned as he glanced over to see Roman just sitting there frozen on the ground with tears in his eyes. At least you're there for me, right, Sugar Bee? I mean, you helped me through my attack. I guess Jan was right. I should have gotten an ESA a long time ago. Well, it doesn't really matter now, does it? Anxiety, Roman sighed and smiled sadly as he watched the other lay back down on his bed, clearly drained from the attack he had just had. This attack, it's not something I can't fight off, is it? Roman quickly jumped up onto the bed with him, making Virgil smile as he did. It's not something I could keep from. happening again. No one attacked you. Roman lay down beside him, meeting Virgil's eyes with a soft look. Virgil gave a very tired but cute smile as he gently trained his fingers through Roman's fur. It was your own mind, wasn't it? I'm okay. I'm just tired. I'm glad you seem more comfortable with me, though. Virgil let his eyes slip shut as Roman just stayed there keeping guard. That makes me happy. Get some rest, Stormcloud. I think after that, you deserve it. Chapter 8. Rowan lay there beside the sleeping side, just watching as the other breathed. He was concerned. He'd never seen that happen to Virgil before. But the other said it had happened a lot. Roman got the idea of it after a while. Virgil's own anxiety had caused him to have an attack. Something at the meeting had caused Virgil to panic and triggered the attack. Roman was mortified, honestly and completely appalled that the youngest went through anything like that, repeatedly. And worse still, they would have made it worse had he been there at the meeting himself. Roman frowned as he laid his head back down and just stared at Virgil's sleeping features. Had Roman never been turned into a cat, he never would have put it in this situation. Virgil was just laying there, mouth parted slightly with this soft expression. Roman couldn't help but feel guilty. Sure, he didn't exactly like Virgil, but he couldn't stand the idea of anyone, especially a fellow side, being in so much pain, not being able to help, or worse, be the reason for it. Roman was a prince. His duty was to protect and care for them all. Yet, he neglected Virgil simply because he did not like him. He failed to see what was behind closed doors. I really don't know you at all, do I, Anxiety? Roman sighed as he let his eyes slip shut. He couldn't tell you when he fell asleep, but he knew when he woke up. The sound of pain whimpers perked his ears right up as his face scrunched up in concern. Anxiety? Help. Roman's eyes opened instantly, see Virgil crying in his sleep, his heart literally shattering at the sight. Virgil's eyes twitched under their lids as he shook and fussed about. He whined as he gripped the blankets tightly, unable to lay still or be calm. Help. Thanks? Roman pushed up onto Virgil's chest, trying to put some pressure to hopefully dawn him in. The problem was Virgil was sleeping. He was having a nightmare. Again. Anxiety. It's okay, I'm right here. Roman noticed how rough the guy had it all night. Sure, he didn't see it because he had hidden under the bed for pretty much this entire week, save for the last few days, but this was the first time he was face to face with it. He heard Virgil crying and muttering in his sleep. He did not like this at all. Anxiety? No, stop. Roman cringed at the break in Virgil's sleep-lulled voice. Tears slipping from Virgil's eyes, mixing with the sweat slick his skin. Roman didn't know what to do to help. He just wanted it all to stop. Virgil was so young, the youngest out of all of them. Seeing him in so much pain and so scaring was so jarred. It just broke your heart. I'm sorry. I'm not Ro. Anxiety? Roman could feel himself tearing up. Ro, don't. Shit. Roman meowed brokenly as he slowly crawled up further till he was lightly nudging Virgil's face with his nose. Please, wake up. Whatever I am doing in your dream, I'm sorry. Please wake up. Roman whined as he pawed gently at the other's cheek, making him scrunch up his face a bit. He moaned loudly, hoping to wake him up, but all he got in response is a moan of discomfort. Anx, please? No. Virgil rolled over, making Roman tumble with a short hiss. The cat was quick to jump back into action, meowing repeatedly as he pawed at his face. Anxiety! Virgil started to curl up, making Roman growl at his own anxiety, starting to get the better of him. Anxiety, you're okay. You have to wake up. I'm sorry. Please don't. Please. Roman whined as he nuzzled against the other, giving up on trying to wake Virgil up and just hoping to help calm him in any way he knew how. I'm sorry, Roman. I'm sorry. Roman tail flicked sadly as he curled up tightly against the other, nuzzling deep into Virgil's neck as he purred loudly. I'm sorry. Everything is okay. Anxiety, whatever it is, it's okay. Roman wrapped his tail around the other's arm as he lightly pressed his paw against the other's chest, trying to maximize contact. It's going to be okay. Virgil sighed softly as his hand slowly moved till he was weakly scratching Roman's back. A soft smile played on his lips as he cuddled into the cat. You okay now, Anxiety? Roman yowled quietly as he pushed further into the other, nuzzling his nose in an almost circular formation, making Virgil chuckle softly. Hush now, Sugar Pea, I'm okay. Virgil smiled more as he melted into the sound of Roman's worried purring. I'm okay. It was just a nightmare. Did I scare you? Yes! Roman whined as he shook some, just letting Virgil pet him a bit. To be honest, it did help to calm him down. One could only assume it helped Virgil too. Maybe that's what he meant before. I was very concerned. I don't know how to help you, Anxiety. I'm sorry for worrying you, little one. I'm okay. You should go back to sleep. Tomorrow we have a lot of rearranging to do. Anxiety. Roman frowned as he got a bit lost in thought. Are you scared of me? I know it could be harsh with you, and I can be a bit unforgiving and negatively vocal. I know that I come across as narcissistic and egoistic, but I'm really not. I don't mean to be. Please, tell me. Roman pushed away enough to look over, see Virgil slowly falling back to sleep. Are you really scared of me, Anxiety? Sweet dreams, Sugar Pea. Virgil mumbled with slurred speech as he relaxed into the pillows, making Virgil sigh. Sweet dreams, Anxiety. I'll stay right here, okay? No more nightmares. If I really am that scary, I'll put it to use. Roman laid himself back down, resting his head against the other as he frowned. I'll scare all those bad thoughts away. Chapter 9. Okay, so I've been a very bad pet parent, Virgil groaned sadly. Roman frowned in confusion as he tilted his head a bit, just watching as Virgil paced around a bit. You've been here for a week. I have yet to get you any proper pet things. You're eating off a small plate like, no. Just no. Virgil tensed as he looked back, only to smile, seeing how attentive Roman was. I just wanted you to get used to me in this room before I started getting things and counting the place. Plus, I want to get a feel for your personality. But you already know me, Anxiety. Or well, actually you don't, do you? Roman sighed as he carefully jumped off the bed, just patted over to the other, who flopped onto the floor crisscross. Obviously, we need to get you a food and water dish. You need our own bowls, not human ones. Roman nodded in understanding and Virgil glanced off to the side. You should also have some toys. Yes, that adds a trip factor, but I usually keep my room pretty clean, so depending on the amount of toys, you should be good. Virgil's eyes lit up as he pointed over to one in the corner by the fridge. I could set up a kitty corner. What do you say? Roman's eyes went wide as Virgil smiled. I could get a tower and some scratching posts. Maybe a nice bed and tubes for you to run around in. You haven't really been doing much, but I can tell you're a feisty one, considering how fast you ran under the bed. I'm feisty? Roman frowned in confusion as he watched Virgil slowly get up again to measure everything out. Virgil walked over to the pile of crated things from the other day and he frowned. I still have to get rid of all of this stuff. Just take them back to my room. Roman laughed as he shook his head. My room is directly connected to the hub creativity. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're in there, you can create whatever you want. Also a way to dismiss creations back into energy. Roman yawned lightly before rolling over onto his back and batting the air. Thanks, I'm bored. I've never been stuck this long in a single room in my life. Not unless I was writing or planning. Can we do something active? It also might be a nice treat to have some catnip around too. Oh no, I am not going anywhere near that jug for felines. Ron pouted, flicked his tail angrily. I am still a prince. I refuse. Besides, I'm not a real cat. I'm won't affect me any. We'll also have to get a proper cat pan. Both Roman and Virgil grimaced at the first roll back onto his feet with a slight growl. Don't remind me. Roman toddled over the chair he had summoned before, as well as he said with the look in his eyes. Virgil smirked as he leaned back against his hands. You know, I'm also going to have to get you a collar. Roman's ears perked as his eyes went wide. He quickly hissed around under the bed, making Virgil laugh, as he carefully peeked back with his ears pressed down. Seriously? All because I said you had to wear a collar? I am royalty. Roman whined as his tail twitched slightly. He shifted his weight as he pressed against the floor, all while Virgil lay down and rolled onto his stomach just to smile over at the cat with his head in his hands. I am not a pet. You are going to have to wear a collar. Roman whined louder, rolling onto his back as if throwing a tantrum, making Virgil break down in giggles. You are such a drama queen. Roman smiled as he rolled over completely, switching his legs with a tilt of his head. Virgil's eyes went wide as he slowly sat back up and thought, Drama queen. Or drama king. Roman made his way out, sitting right in front of the other. With this look of confusion, Virgil just smiled. What if I need you king? But I have a name. Roman frowned slightly as Virgil gently scratching his head. My name is Roman. Would you like that, little one? Would you like it if your name was king? But I'm not a king. I'm a prince, named Roman. Roman pouted slightly as he made a sort of rumbling whine that caught Virgil's attention. Oh, come now, your majesty. Roman froze as he looked up, meeting Virgil's eyes as the other just smiled. I don't just call anyone royal. You have to earn the title. Roman quirked a brow as Virgil pet him softly. If I'm giving you the name king, it's because I see you as one. But, anxiety, you're the one that first started calling me Princey. Roman just sat there stunned as Virgil continued to pet and scratch him. He couldn't help but melt into the affection, and soon he was purring as he smiled softly to himself. My king. Roman purred loudly, with a deep and powerful rumble as he gently against Virgil's hand, making the other beam at the act. I'll take that as you like the name then. That's it. Now I'm definitely getting you a collar with a crown on it, and your name embroidered on the side. You look so cute. The opponent of feline royalty. Virgil groaned with a laugh as he moved his hands away, making Rowan frown in confusion. Jesus, if Princey heard that, he'd go apeshit. Well, I'm not so. Roman laughed internally as he rolled over onto his back, twisting slightly to look like he was patting at the other. But I do find it really funny, and I won't be letting this drop anytime soon. I should just be happy Roman isn't here to hear it then. Virgil smiled as he got up and stretched. Now, let's get some things moved. Then I can figure out how exactly I'm going to get this stuff for you. I already told you, Angs. Roman meowed softly as he had twisted about a bit, making Virgil chuckle. You can get whatever you want, summering it in my room. Oh guys, that was another couple chapters of the Perfect Curse. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day or night, and I'm gonna have a wonderful sleep after this. Well, thank you for reading with me and listening, and have a good night or day.